There he is. The slender figure, clad in robes made from expensive fabric, shudders from violent coughing. Achilles, it's been many moons. I hope your cousin is feeling well, says Heinrichs. Achilles covers his burnt lips, trying and failing to suppress a coughing fit. She is in good health. She sends her regards to you as well as her wishes for your swift return. Heinrichs frowns. For as long as the stars shine in the sky, my vigil continues. So it does. Achilles thumps himself on the chest with his augmented hand. You can hear the clanging of metal against metal. I need to read differently. Metal against metal. I'm going to use my logic check here. I'm not so foolish as to fail to notice a conversation in code. Your insight deserves credit, Rogue Trader. Then again, I expected nothing less from Theodore von Valencia's successor. Allow me to introduce Achilles Scalena properly. In addition to his duties as Secretary of the Administratum, whatever, I can't pronounce these words, he acts as an agent of the Golden Throne under my aegis. He was transferred into my writ by a colleague who is engaged in other matters in the Chronos Expanse. I am sure you will find his service useful, especially when dealing with schemes of humanity's foes. Okay, condolences. Yep, thank you very much. Excuse me. Do you know anything about what happened to Conrad? He's a traitor. Word came too late. He came to the planet and left it almost immediately once he had sown discord in the minds of the gullible and naive. The worst of the rumors he started was that you were the one responsible for Lady Theodora's sudden demise. Of course, your loyal subjects did their best to skin alive any who showed signs of doubt. But it seems unlikely that the wardens got to everyone who has allowed doubt into their heart and now nurtures it in secret. Alright, promise me a report. All official reports have been forwarded to your Sentinel, but as for the conversation we're having right now, I wouldn't trust it to paper or data slate. Lady Theodora, may the Emperor have mercy on her soul, was perfectly aware of Dorgonis' political environment. You, however, have only just arrived, and I thought it would be best to bring you up to speed. Frankly, the nobles, much like the nobles on most worlds, are akin to spiders in a jar, ready to pounce on whomever is the weakest, or whomever they deem to be the weakest. They are well respected, rich, and powerful, who held the Lady Theodora's favor for many years. But each family pursues its own selfish interests, and each one expects that with the transition of power they will retain and even add to their lands and wealth. You should give attention to the drive stems, the gapraks, and the sourbacks. I should also mention the Wersarians, not a noble house per se, but a family that was part of Lady Theodora's inner circle, but to the Blue Bloods' great displeasure. Alright. Wersarians were founded by Lady Theodora's seneschal and are nominally considered nobility from the standpoint of the Imperial Navy. However, their position here is precarious because they were never granted an official title. They are responsible for the world fleet and the majority of cargo shipments. What a house sourback. Alright, they cover distillation manufactorums that produce promethium. Said lately members have been prone to make liberal statements about the von Valancius dynasty. What about the Gapraks? Alright. So, they are from a forge world, used to oversee industrial shipments until the astropathic communication with Kiavagama was severed. Okay. I've been to Kiavagama already. The planet was tainted by the cult of the Final Dawn. These are grim tidings. Perhaps my colleagues can pick up the cultist trail in the cold void. Alright, what are the drive stems? The ancient governor house. The greater wealth. The greater the wealth of Von Valence is protected, the fuller the coffers grow. Their reputation is flawless for one detail. We have evidence that Urband's drive stems rivals seem to have the misfortune of regularly falling victim to Xenos raids. I find these attacks are always a little too advantageous for the drive sims, but we lack solid proof and it might never surface. Closer an official is to a rogue trader, the braver and safer they feel. Now feel the urge to have every one of those sycophants executed at once. You are well within your right, but this will cause multi-layered bureaucratic systems of Durgonas to come apart at the seams. Alright, enough about the nobles. Anything else you wanted to report? Xenos and the threat they pose to you. Warp disturbances, astropaths overcome with madness, ships disappearing. Is with my power to supply with intelligence and where and when the Xenos will strike you next. I do not doubt the Governor Driveson will beg for your protection. In this fight, the information from my contacts will serve you well. I beseech you, if I ever report a threat looming over the planet... Okay, hold on. I beseech you, Renfail, if I ever report a threat looming over a ship or a planet, do not dismiss it. Sometimes it takes an intervention from a rogue trader and his mighty void ship to avert a disaster. Okay. Scars on your face? 5 years ago, an accident with a tank of promethium. The Emperor preserved my soul. The physician saved my body, other than my lungs, with which I had to part. Do you know anything about the Cult of the Final Dawn? No. What about your unofficial work? Whom do you truly serve, the Rogue Trader or the Interrogator of the Inquisition? He quickly glances at Heinrichs. And whom does the Rogue Trader serve? The Golden Throne, the Protectorate? Could it be that one stems from the other? And if so, is there any sense of discussing it? I'd like a list of all your agents and the means to contact them. Oh, he's not going to. More spies from the Emperor. Vigilate. Excuse me, the Xenos will not attack. Alright. No other questions. Take my leave. Governor Driveship has arrived at court. I imagine he's already prepared to arrange the meeting. All that's left is notify you ready to see your brand. Let's do it. Oh, hang on. I skipped that. It was a... The sharp gaze, the impassibly straight back, the composure. For the moment, you feel like you're looking at a younger version of Abelard. Judging by the scars and the exposed parts of her body, she's seen her fair share of combat prior to assuming her position of Chancellor. Okay. So the governor bids me welcome. First and foremost, please accept my deepest condolences. Please allow us to declare half a year of mourning. There is no need. I am the new ruler of the Protectorate. Let my subjects rejoice at my arrival instead. The bewilderment causes the wrinkles on his face to soften. Your lordship, these are centuries-old traditions, sacred customs and rites. Abelard, do not forget who it is you serve. If it is the rogue trader's wish not to have a mourning ceremony, his voice grates unpleasantly, then so be it. Perhaps the parvenu installed by Lady Theodora cares not for the sacred traditions of our founding ancestors, but Renfail von Valansis is a descendant of the true children of Dragonis. It behooves the ruler of the world to honor its customs. How about, I do, but later when things in the Protectorate settle down. Or how about, come now, everyone, I'm as much as a parvenu as Abelard. Now let's do, I should be the one to judge what behooves me and what does not. As you will, your lordship. Esteemed Renfail, Lady Theodora was a strong leader, and we sought to follow her example. Let us learn in our wisdom and persevere in spite of her tragedy. There is something that drives Sim's gaze that you find troubling. A hint of reproach, mockery, condemnation. You are uncertain whether this is indeed true or merely your guilty conscience playing tricks on you, stirring up memories of your past under the governor's keen gaze. So it's probably because of my crime lord background, right? Alright, so some time ago, the astropaths of Dargonis flew into a rage and had to be subdued. We're gradually restoring our ability to speak with neighboring worlds, but contacts are still weak. Routes are still tangled and no longer lead to the systems that captains expect them to. Okay. Tell me about Conrad. Has she shown his face under Argonis? Lord Victor visited the capital some time ago, but he did not request a personal meeting. I shall be frank with you, Your Lordship. Lady Theodore's sudden death was a blow to every one of us. In the absence of any sort of verifiable and complete information about her success, that gives grounds for all manner of rumors and misinterpretations, especially if someone is deliberately inciting unrest and discontent. Naturally, none would dare challenge you by accusing you of something as sacrilegious as murdering a rogue traitor, but Conrad Voigtver was once a true boon to the Protectorate back in the day, and as such, some might heed his words. Their doubts are understandable. Too many things have changed too short of a span, but I will prove myself worthy of my position. What do the nobility expect from me? Welcome to the Twitch channel, Cloned Noob, and anybody who's tuning in for our first stream of 2024, don't forget, we are multi-streaming daily from 8 a.m. onwards on Twitch and YouTube. The day-to-day stuff happens on YouTube with all the game guides, news, reviews, and so on and so forth. Check it out. All right. I'm going to do with commerce options. It's an intriguing concern for the Veil's 6 outpost. Doesn't your house happen to own the extraction station there? His eyes widen in fear. Lordship, I beg of you, do not interpret my words as an attempt to influence your decisions. My only concern is for the prosperity of the Von Valancia's dynasty. I've already visited Janus. She's no longer in charge of the world. She's dead. I've delivered Janus into more capable hands. His eyes open wide. The Vi line is broken. Oh, it will shake many who are connected to the Viats and who are used to the immunity that comes with our class. Ah, I'm shaking things up. I've already been to Kievagama. The Industrial was overtaken by Chaos Worshippers. I assume the House Gaprak is in for an official investigation. It's too early to draw conclusions. We will wait for the results of the investigation. Yeah, Kievagama will serve humanity once more, rest assured. Alright, that does it for the planets and trade routes. What else? Xenos, your lordship. I don't rightly know where to begin. Otherworldly beasts are not an uncommon sight in the Cronus Expanse. They've been a menace to the worlds this side of the Maw for decades. But now, these abominations are on the rampage, showing no signs of fear as they attack ships, damaging you to the point where they become unfit for transport duty or outright gutting them. Only you have the power to stop this madness. We're currently trying to restore the astropathic choir of Dargonis. Unfortunately, we were forced to slay... No, sorry. Luckily, we were forced to slay only some of the deranged psychers. Those that remain are yet unstable to transmit messages. Alright, Viobo 6 has been a particular concern in the last few cycles. We must discover the colony's fate. Okay. Smaller scale issues. So this is going to be kingdom management stuff that the Owlcat Games are known for. There's a certain degree of tension in the capital due to unorthodox succession of the Sacred Warrant. Chances of uprisings are minimal. I've prepared a list of minor houses that have demonstrated unseemly discomposure at your succession. What should we do about them? Send the disgruntled nobles lavish gifts on my behalf and make sure that my generosity does not go unnoticed by the rest. One last thing, your lordship. Your inauguration as bearer of the Sacred Warrant is but a matter of time. I would like to inquire about one crucial detail. I imagine you are intending to uphold the centuries-old tradition, bolstered by an equally long-lasting friendship, of being represented on Dargonis by one of the noble houses. I presume that, as before, this duty will be accorded to the House Drivestem. One moment. Which houses can represent me? Any of the noble houses located on Dargonis. I can use the option, I don't care, just don't fight too hard over the bone. Welcome to YouTube, K. Thorgrenson. Let's give it to the Wersarians. Lord Captain, to accompany us at such a critical hour is the greatest honor for the Wersarian bloodline. Have no fear, we will not fail you. Drivestem tosses Abelard a look that lacks even the smallest shred of respect. Forgive my boldness, but I must remind you that the Wersarians, whose lineage traces back to a Navy officer, are not of Dargonis nobility. Such decisions may have adverse effects on your subjects' loyalty. Alright, let's do the ceremony. Until you deal with pressing issues, the ceremony is postponed. You still need to fix the trade routes. There's the crisis, warp disturbances. Alright. Is that it? Alright. What is that? Electrified shard net. Demolition. Tech use. Ooh, what is this? Oh, those are melta weapons. I haven't tried any of those yet.
What do we have here?
Goodies. Which I can't get to. There we go. What kind of boots you got, man? Get out of the collider, bro. Alright. Okay, with some goodies there. What else we got? Alright, I think that's everything here. Alright. Find a path to Viobos 6, excuse me. Alright, so I gotta figure out the Winter Scale worlds. Man, that's a long way away. Alright, so I need to figure out how to get to Viobos 7. It's essentially the next quest. It's gonna be tricky. So tricky. Glory to the great rogue trader. I think we can go straight to the ship now. Actually, how do you get to the ship from here? That gets me to the palace. I have curiosity. Let's just run down here, make sure it's not the opposite end I need to unlock. Yep. That's what I was looking for. Turn to the ship. So I think everything else is we need to forge a path to that other world. Which means, let's take a look at the map and see if it's readily available or if it's something I need to go look up. Because one of the things I don't have patience for is trying to find it. I'm not into that. Hufflepuff says, terrible news from Dargonis, Lord Captain. The subsidiary Hive City, Scipione 8449 has been destroyed in a series of cascading failures. Production is halted. Millions have broken their vows of obedience and are fleeing. Others perishing in the wastelands. What should you do regarding the refugees? What is the cause? Still unclear. What say my advisors? I would avoid letting refugees into other hives. There may be saboteurs. Huh. I agree. Make the nobles. Remind the noble houses of their duties. The hives that have accepted the refugees are now overflowing with surplus labor. The refugees are willing to work twice as hard as the usual workers who are already exhausted. Many refugees have entered the rogue trader's service and replenished his ship's crew. Dorgonis' nobles took no pleasure in distributing the refugees. Some of them found their way into the personal service of the nobles, thankful to receive a Nutribar and a mat, on which they can rest for 6 hours per cycle. Others could only attain the most grueling jobs in the manufactories and service stations. They may be oppressed, but they have survived. A diaspora scattered across the hives of Dargonis. No, I'm not going to find the seal on Dargonis. I have to go somewhere else. Like, literally, the quest just says... The seal can probably be found in one of the House Pointer scale words of the Forgotten Twins, Langer's Belt, or Nameless star systems. But she says it might also be in the possession of a pirate, fence, or collector of stolen goods. Is there like somebody I can talk to? That's like a merchant? We'll go back down really quick because it acts like there's still a quest here, but it could just be a bug that it's not updated yet. I didn't see any other NPCs to talk to though, so see, it's pointing up in here. All right, is there? What am I looking for here that could possibly be a merchant? Well, I guess there's some rooms over there to the right, maybe that I miss. So I guess I didn't go up to my quarters.